Well, hello, everyone. This is Dr. Donetta Watson from the Black MasterMind Group, and we are so excited to be bringing to you today another one of our guest speakers that will be part of our Success Summit. Every December and every June, we graduate students from our bootcamp program, and we put on these conferences to provide education and additional support to the community on what it means to really be a successful entrepreneur. We're going to talk about that at the conference, but it is starting on Friday, December 15th, with a hard hat event at 2:30 at our location, 1111 North 5th Street in Kansas City, Kansas. We are opening an incubator program that is a 16 business micro mall, a place where Black entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of color can have an opportunity to practice their business skills before launching into the community. We believe incubation is a very important part of our success journey. Also, accessing capital, but we're going to talk about that on another time. On Friday afternoon at 2:30, join us for that free to the public event, the Hard Hat Reveal, showcasing the space and the businesses that will be in the incubator mall. Then on Friday night at 7:30, we have a speed networking session. Oftentimes entrepreneurs say, I don't know anybody, and we end up operating in a silo. This is an opportunity to meet other entrepreneurs, at all different levels and walks of life and business. Every entrepreneur should never be on the journey by themselves. They need their group, they need their people, they need that safety that's in a multitude of counsel. And that's what we do in the Black MasterMind Group. We operate as a collaborative organization, helping entrepreneurs on their journey towards success. Saturday morning, that is what begins the conference speaker sessions. We have one of our speakers with us this morning. Her name is Chandra Green. Chandra is the owner of MasterMind LLC, and she's going to talk with you about what she does and, dealing with that territory, right? That real estate up there, our mindset. Chandra, tell our listening audience a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. First of all, this conference is going to be amazing. If you have missed the past conferences, make sure that you don't miss any more. This is a wonderful opportunity for entrepreneurs. So, MasterMind LLC, I am the owner, head therapist, and facilitator. So I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, but I also have a master's in business law. So while I do therapy for individuals, families, couples, things of those, anybody groups, I also marry therapy with business, with my business background, and I work with leadership. I work with organizations. We do a lot of trauma-informed training and leadership training and diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging trainings and workshops, capacity building, things of those sorts. And I also work with entrepreneurs to kind of work with the switch between working those full-time jobs, going into becoming an entrepreneur and living that life. It's something totally different, especially when you're trying to do it by the book. As Dr. Watson would say, not a hobby hustle or hookup, but when you're really trying to operate it as a business, there are some things that go on in our mind. And a lot of times we feel like, oh, I'm doing everything right now. I'm walking in my purpose, so things should be easier. No, that's when you are more of a threat. And so life does not stop lifing just because you decide you want to become an entrepreneur and handle some business. If anything,
I want to cut it for a second. Can you say that again? Because something broke out. I need the audience to hear you say it, because I said, where did I hear that from? And now I know it's from you. Life doesn't stop. What? Share
life
that again.
does not stop lifing because you decide to go into business. Business does not become your everything. It becomes an addition to what you already have going on. So you still have relationships that you have in your regular life. You still may experience trauma. You still have financial things that are going on. We still have to live this life. And so if we don't figure out how to navigate this up here, like Dr. Watson calls the real estate up here, if we fall apart here, then our business is going to fall apart. as long as in our relationships and everything else that we have. So while we're talking about building our team and what that looks like, we talk about getting your accountant, your CPA, your legal advisors, and all of these things, your job coach, all of those things. But you also need to have your therapist on hand as well to help you work through some things and some daily tasks that you have to go through. A lot of times people think I gotta wait till I go crazy to get, or whatever your definition is of crazy, to get a therapist. But I promise you that there's warning signs along the way before you're getting ready to jump off of the proverbial cliff, so to speak. So if you begin to include therapy and work on your mental health as you're working on building your business, then you grow together. You grow both together. And as things come up, you learn how to handle them. If you have an attitude problem and you begin to hire your staff, because one thing we learn in boot camp, if you don't know about that, you'll find out about that at the conference. But one thing we learn is that you cannot do this by yourself. So when you start hiring people and you don't have the right attitude, then that's going to reflect on the people that you are trying to serve, that are working with you, that are trying to complete tasks. And although they may do it, they may not do it to the best of their ability because they don't want to deal with you. So getting ourselves together so we can be the best product. We are our best product, mentally, spiritually, and physically. We are our best product that we can present. So that's a
I
little bit
know
of what I do.
you've been teaching about balance in business, and
Mhm,
I definitely want to hit on pivoting without pain.
mhm,
And balance is so easy to get off balance in business.
mhm,
And for women, I think it's even more of a, well, I want to back up. We have men that we have classified as workaholics. And for men, their identity does come from the work that they do. That's how God created them. He wired them that way. And then
mhm.
we have us women who have stepped into these roles of entrepreneurship, and we're mother, we're wife, we are employer, we can be
Everything.
nurse. You know, we're everything, cook, housekeeper, we're all of that, and we are the entrepreneur. And it is so easy for us to get off balance and pursue our success to the extent of sacrificing everybody else who's
Mhm,
supposed to enjoy the success journey with us.
mhm,
And those are some of the things we have to talk about, because when we're out of control in one area, ultimately we're out of control in multiple areas that we've justified being out of control in one area. Or when we're off balance in
mhm.
one area, little leaven leavens the whole lump. That means
Yes.
we're out of balance in all areas. And I see that quite often in business. And so how do we keep balance, and how do we make those pivots and those changes when we find that, this ain't really working the way I thought it was supposed to work? Is it the process, or is it me, the person in the process, that's
It's
pivoting?
both. It's both, because especially as Black entrepreneurs, male and female, we don't just have the fact that we are trying to build a business. We culturally come up against a lot of issues. And part of that is the scarcity mentality, or even the slave mentality. So Dr. Joy DeGruy wrote a book talking about post-traumatic slave syndrome. And we tend to operate in that even with our businesses. So when we start talking about getting loans and building credit and stuff like that, then we're scared of the debt and what that can look like, because we haven't been taught how to handle those things. We get nervous about too many things happening at one time, but we feel like for some reason we can balance it all. So I like to invite people to take your cape off. You don't have to
Mhm.
be Superwoman. You don't have to be Superman, but you do get to operate as who you are. So, what would it look like if you brought who you are to the business, not who you think you should be, or who other people are telling you who you should be? So, when you need a break, what does that look like? And being able to put things in place so that you can take a healthy break, so that you can have an honest space to say, listen, this is not working how I think it should work. This is not doing what I think it should do. How do I reset? So part of that is also even when we talk about pivoting, being open to change. We have our businesses are our babies, right? Like we birth these. And when it comes to your baby, you don't play about your baby. Can nobody else tell you nothing about your baby. But it's really, really different when there are issues that your child has that you don't specialize in. The thing is that we're not taught to ask for help. We're not taught to say, hey, I know how to do this part, but I'm gonna need help with this part and who can step in and who can I call. So being able to open yourself up to what that looks like, what it looks like to invite people in to be surrogate parents of your baby, what it looks like to have uncles and aunties to your business and to you as a person so that you don't feel like you're on this journey by yourself. The thing that kills a baby is if nobody ever picks it up and nobody ever feeds it, it will die. And it's the same
Mm.
thing for us as human. Connection is important. And when we don't intentionally make good, healthy connections as a human being and even with our business, we will die. So it really does become a matter of life and death if you feel like you have to do it all on your own. It'll start showing up in your health. You'll be tired all the time and trying to push through stuff all the time. Your aches and pains, trauma will happen, and you'll just walk through it like it's normal. All of this stuff isn't normal, but we've been programmed to think that this is how it's supposed to be. And so when you start talking about balance, and I say, hey, when's the last time you took a vacation? Well, what does one even look like? Do you even have a dream vacation? Because these are questions that I ask because scientifically, if you are planning a vacation, you operate better. And sometimes if we don't know that we're getting a break, then we just become slaves to our mentality and to what we're doing. But if you have something to look forward to in life that says, hey, you won't have to do all this, you won't have to do all that, then you tend to work better knowing that there's another outcome for you.
Oh
So
my, powerful indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why it's so important for you to be at the summit. These are some of the points and things that will be shared. She'll be sharing, we have an amazing lineup. So she'll be sharing her segments with Mark Jackson, our neurolinguistic business coach and leadership development as well. They come to this with two different backgrounds and understandings. But man, every time I see people come out of their sessions, they're saying, "Oh my God, I'm so glad I was in there." And we want you to experience that too. So they're speaking on Saturday morning, December 16th, 9 a.m., again about 9:30, again about 10 o'clock. The same, they'll be speaking for 3 sessions on that Saturday. We have sessions on your mindset, your marketing, and your money. Those 3 critical areas of business: your mindset, marketing, and money. Those sessions are open. We are taking registration now. Lunch is provided to everyone that attends. There is a cost. So go to the website, theblackmastermindgroup.com, and check out the 3-day conference. We start with Friday with the hard hat event, Friday night with the speed networking and meet and greet session. Saturday morning breakout sessions. Saturday afternoon, we have an event that's open to the public. It is called the Road to Capital. We have lenders, special programs, our microloan program, credit repair, investing, all of those things that when we're talking about money, we tend to we get clammy and get all nervous when people start in our community talking about money. Everybody else gonna sit down and talk about money, but we get scared. Now it's time we got to really talk about entrepreneurs. If it's not making you any money, it's not making you any sense to be doing it. And we got to get to the real matter of the problem. In many of our businesses, we don't have any money. Now we're going to talk about how you can get some money. The Road to Capital event is open and free to the public. Then on Saturday night, we have our African King and Queen Ball. It's an award dinner. We award our students. I got a call today from another student saying she's finally made it to $1 million in revenue. We're serious about entrepreneurs being successful in business. And I'm not going to let you off the hook, Chandra, so I'm coming right back to you. And then on Sunday morning is our graduation. She mentioned earlier about the boot camp. Our boot camp program is an entrepreneurial financial literacy training program. We just believe that if we don't know money, and we don't know about money, we don't know about numbers, we can't set goals in our business, we don't know how much money we're supposed to bring in, every day, every week, every month, every quarter, semi-annually and annually. You're spinning your wheels in business. We've got to get our community educated. We've got to get entrepreneurs running, not hobbies, not hookups, not hustles, but real businesses. And we've been very successful. We've trained over 200 entrepreneurs. 14 of them had microloans. 7, I believe, has had big bank loans by now. We've assisted 6 entrepreneurs in becoming millionaires. And one more is out there that we're counting them numbers with her. And yes, Miss Chandra's on her way. And now we're a millionaire organization. We believe what you say you're going to do, it will manifest. So we're excited for Chandra's transition. So give us just a couple of minutes about this transition for you from being a full-time employee to being an entrepreneur full-time.
I knew it was coming. I wasn't ready for it when it did come. Not mentally, I wasn't. But I will tell you what did help me, because of boot camp, I knew my numbers. And you'll know more about what that means when you take the boot camp. So take the boot camp. And I knew what I needed to do. I had a foundation already laid for my business. So literally I could just transfer from that to my office, and which is what I did, where I could start seeing clients and different things like that. So I knew what I needed to do. So, and again, when you talk about mentality, and your mental state, I knew I wasn't ready, just to be honest, because a lot of things happen around that. Again, life doesn't stop lifing, and the transition came with a little bit of trauma. So I had to process through a lot of that stuff. But what I also realized, because I knew services that I could provide, I didn't realize that there was some other services that could surface out of what I did, until I started getting some questions and some referrals. And where I thought that me seeing clients was going to be my main source of income, it ended up being contracts. And we talk a lot about contracts in boot camp. We talk about, and I was like, as a therapist, how am I going to do, contracts and stuff? So you got to talk to me to find out that part. But it is a very, it was interesting how it was working. But even with that, I knew how to just go in and rework the numbers. So I know how many contracts I need to have, or how much I need to have in contracts to be able to sustain the business over the next however many years. We do 3-year build out plans, but we also do it. We also, like she said, had opportunity to get loans for our business, and I am one of the recipients of that, and it helped a lot. I've been able to bring people in on my team, and hire an assistant to help me. I have a plan for the therapists that are going to come in and work with me, how to expand the business. So it'll work if you work it. I'll tell you that. If you work it, and it'll work. But you have to have people around you who can speak your language, who can see more than you can see, who can understand a little bit more, even if they hurt your feelings, because Dr. Watson will hurt your feelings. But but definitely it's an asset. I mean, this organization is full of people who will give you the truth. So so just being able to tap in to what that looks like. So it made it less scary. The transition was less scary. I feel like if I didn't go through boot camp, if I wasn't connected to this organization, that transition could have been a lot worse. And I would have probably not be one of the people that when you say millionaire, I could be like, oh, I know, one day I know it's coming, it's coming. But because I know that what to do and I know how to prepare, it laying a foundation. I'm gonna say this one thing: if God tells you to start packing, pack. If He tells you to start preparing, prepare. Even if you don't know what you're preparing for. A lot of times we say, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know, where I'm supposed to go. Do the next best thing. Do the next thing you know to do. Even if you don't see the whole picture, the whole painting, you need some paint. Go buy the paint, because eventually you're gonna have to paint. You go buy the colors that you need. Go do what you know to do. So if there is something that you feel like you should be doing, prepare. Preparation makes transition a lot less traumatic, a lot less hard, a lot less stressful. I'm not saying it won't be traumatic. I'm not saying it won't be hard. I'm not saying it won't be, but it doesn't have to be as hard as we make it sometimes. If we move and we do what we're supposed to do when we're supposed to do it, it is definitely a preparation that goes with it. So I just wanted
Hey,
to.
guys, this is just basic common, we say common sense, but they say there's no such thing as common sense, it's wisdom. And I'm so grateful that Chandra is here in the organization and she serves the entrepreneurs that are part of this organization. We know mindset is the greatest challenge for our community. And for there are true reasons. It isn't made up in our mind what we're dealing with. There's some real serious issues. But those issues don't have to keep you from moving into the place that God called you to step into as an entrepreneur. So
Right.
you got a little bit more of a leeway into what you're going to get when you come to the Success Summit on Saturday morning, December 16th at 9 o'clock. You're going to have 3 sessions. The first session is, well, there are going to be 3 sessions going on at the same time. You're going to go through each session. Some of you may start in mindset. Some of you may start in marketing. Some of you may start in money. But you're going to hear these sessions 3 times through the course. You're going to hear 3 different sessions through the course of that morning. And if you stay in for lunch and then go into the Road to Capital session, we guarantee you're going to be a different person when you come out, because we believe in giving real content, real information that you can take and apply to your life and to your business. And thank you so very much, Chandra, for giving these tips and wisdom secrets to a community that, thinks that this thing up here, we're not supposed to touch. Only the anointing is supposed to touch it. Well, I guarantee you, if you're waiting around for that, you're going to be waiting a long time. And every year you're going to get crazier. And your life is going to be more jacked up.
Yeah.
And you're going to be so far away from where you should be because you have stalled and waited. That's one of the things that when gifted people, one of the nemesis we have is the more creative, the more talented, the more gifted we are, the more we have the propensity to procrastinate. That analysis paralysis keeps us from moving forward and finishing what we know we need to do. We're putting it off for another day. Well, that time is over. COVID should have taught you that. If nothing else, you survived COVID. Now you got to get busy and do what God left you here to do. We are serious about this journey for entrepreneurs, and we want you to join us and be a part. Again, go to the website, theblackmastermindgroup.com. Sign up, register. Yes, it is an investment. Nothing in life is free. People say salvation was free. No, it wasn't. Jesus died. He paid the ultimate price. It was not free. And you're not coming through this process free either, because you won't value it. Invest in yourself at the level you want to see a return. If you're curious about the boot camp, go to the website. All the information is there. Our next class is starting in January. We are moving entrepreneurs from dreams to reality to wealth. Yeah.
Dr. Weston, I want to say this because so many times people go to these conferences and they get a lot of information and they do absolutely nothing with it. We don't leave you without how to contact the resources or how to tie in with us. You don't have to do this by yourself. So if you come and you get an idea and you need to have a meeting with one of the coaches, or you need to talk to somebody about what your next step is, we are available. We don't hold anything close to us. Whatever we have, it's available to everybody else. So I don't want it to be like, oh, let me just spend my money and just go to this conference and get a nice, cute book and walk away. No, it's not like that. We want you to work what you get and get what you work. So
absolutely, that is the truth. Everything we do in this organization is about empowering people to apply knowledge. We got a lot of information out there today, and we're on information overload.
Yeah.
But and you'll hear people say knowledge is power, and that's why this era in time we have so much information, because we think knowledge in itself is power, and it is not. Knowledge in itself is just information. If you can apply what you learn, it becomes powerful. If you can apply that information, that knowledge, those tips, those tools, then it becomes powerful. And we're going to teach you, we're not just going to tell you, we're going to teach you how to apply everything you get in this organization, because then indeed you too will be powerful. So thank you so very much, Chandra. We've got to wrap up for the day. You'll see more of her in our organization. She's our assistant director. You are going to have a treat every time she opens up her mouth. It is from God what she has to say, because there's wisdom in the process and she understands the process. She's not just educated in coaching and life skills and in mindset. She has walked these things out, and that's a witness that you can follow. So again, be with us on Saturday, December 16th. Matter of fact, come to the entire 3-day conference. It's less than what it's going to cost you to get your hair done. I'm just going to tell the truth. So make that sacrifice. Instead of putting it on your head, put it in your head, in your mindset. We'll see you again real soon. Thank you, Chandra. God bless you all, and we'll see you at the summit.
Thank you.